Perek HaShutphin, Daf Yud, sponsored the Refuah Shlema for Yaakov ben Esther. The Gemara begins describing the reward for children of the charitable. They will merit children, Talmidei Chachamim, wealthy and honored as Balei Agoda, those who inspire others by way of their homiletical teachings. The Gemara now presents a philosophical dilemma argued by Rabbi Akiva and Turnus Rufus. Hashem cares about poor people, but does not care for them. Rabbi Akiva answered, mankind caring for the poor saves them from retribution. The Gemara later explains, in spite of this, God is beholden to those charitable as a borrower is to a lender. Turnus Rufus responded, Hashem exiled the Jews and enslaved them to the Romans as a punishment. To ease their suffering would anger Hashem. Rabbi Akiva responded, we are still Banim L'Hashem, we are still God's children. Although he cannot extricate us, he is pleased for others to lessen our suffering. Therefore, it is an enormous mitzvah to support poor people. The Gemara demonstrates that any charity one withholds will be confiscated by the authorities. Just as a person's income is determined on Rosh Hashanah, his losses for the year are determined then as well. He can benefit from those losses by giving them to charity. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai dreamed his nephews would lose 700 dinarim that year. He advised them throughout the year to disperse money to the poor without revealing the dream, so they give sincerely, not out of concern for the loss. The Gemara next demonstrates that one who is not charitable is equal to an idolater. Even a great man as Rapapa almost fell off a ladder to his death, similar to Skila, the punishment for idolatry, not responding to an appeal of a poor person. The Gemara teaches a Gezerah Shava from the term Belial, heretical thoughts, used in the Torah in reference to charity and idolatry. The Gemara adds other benefits of giving charity. Acts of kindness are peace, redemption, and spares one from death. The Gemara mentions 10 phenomena God created in order of their natural strengths, beginning with stone, ending with death, the most powerful force in nature that cannot be overcome by anything except charity. Tzedakah tatziu mimavis. This verse is mentioned twice. Once to teach that charity spares us from the evils of Gehenna. The other teaches it spares us from an unusual death. However, this reward is limited to one who gives charity in the loftiest manner. The giver does not know the recipient, and the recipient does not know the giver. This is fulfilled by giving to a charity fund whose administrator is as honest as Rabbi Chanina ben Terajun. Otherwise, it is better to distribute charity directly to the poor. Charity enables us to receive the divine presence even in this world and eternal honor in the next world. Tzidkasoi oimedis lo'ad. Therefore, Rabbi Elazar would not pray before giving charity. The Gemara brings the testimonies of Rabbi Yosef Bereid Rabbi Yeshua of his near-death experience. Oilom hafuch raisi. He saw an upside-down world, the poor and not the rich being honored. In addition, Talmidei Chacham did not suffer in the next world from their honor in this world. Therefore, happy is one who enters the next world with his Torah, or with an enormous act of Mesiras Nefesh like the Harugei Lud. The Gemara concludes with different explanations for Chesed Le'umim Chatos, why the charity of the Gentile nations backfire. Number one, they perform acts of charity for an ulterior motive that, if not fulfilled, causes them to regret their actions. Number two, Nebuchadnezzar gave in order to delay Hashem's retribution for his destruction of the temple. Number three, they perform acts of charity for self-glorification, leading them to Gehenna. Number four, they perform acts of charity to humiliate us, insisting our suffering is our lack of charitable deeds. 5, the last interpretation is it atones for their sins as a sin offering. Fact is that we're completing a sugya on tzedakah. And therefore, I can't emphasize enough that with a little help from each and every one of you, we have 4,500 Talmidim daily listening to Daf and 5. We can make that 15 to 20,000. Just please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. And we can bring the daf to so many other daf enthusiasts.